our last lesson in the packet. Are we excited? Moving on, we are going to talk about verbal inequalities. And we looked at a little bit of these today. So it's really important to think about these words when you're writing these types of problems, because if you don't write the inequality correctly, you don't have a prayer of getting the answer correct. So you need to be very clear on is greater than, is not more than, is at least, does not exceed. And always think about a real life example or put in some numbers if you're unsure. So I'd like you to do that first section on your own, 1 through 7, and come back and check with me, okay? So if you haven't done so already, please work on those 7 problems and come back writing inequalities. The first one is going to be x is less than or equal to 5, because at most 5 students. Could it be 5? Yes, it could be 5. It couldn't be any more than 5, no. All right, number 2, cannot exceed, so that's less than or equal to. Number 3, must exceed, and must exceed. It can't be or equal to, and cannot exceed is different, because it cannot exceed 2,500, but it can be equal to 2,500. All right, in the second case, it must exceed, so it can't be equal to 15. Is less than, that one we're kind of used to. Is more than, that one we're kind of used to. Is at least 8 feet, so that means it could be equal to 8 feet, but it cannot be less than. And then at least again. So just be sure that you have a little bit of understanding of those terms. Margaret had 4 more candy bars than Lisa. So again, this is our let statement, all right? And then we're going to use the rest of the information to form our inequality. So Margaret had 4 more candy bars than Lisa. I'm going to let X be Lisa's candy bars, okay? And Margaret then would be X plus 4. Then we read the rest of the information to give ourselves the inequality. They put all of their treats together in the bag. So what does that mean? It means X plus 4 are all in a bag together. The bag had no more than 42. So could it have 42? Yes, but it can't have any more than 42. And then we're going to solve that like we usually solve our inequalities. So 2x plus 4 is less than or equal to 42. 2x is less than or equal to 38, and x is less than or equal to 19. So what is the greatest number? Lisa's candy bars have to be greater than or equal to 19, and Margaret's greater than or equal to 23. Okay? Make sure your answers are legible. Let's look at number 2. On Izzy's farm, the number of cows is 50 more than twice the number of sheep. If there are at most 260 animals in all, find the greatest number of cows and the greatest number of sheep. So go ahead and see what you would do with this one, and then come back and check with my answer. X equals the number of sheep, and that means that X plus 50 would be the number of cows. Oops. And then I use the information about, 2x is twice again. 2x plus 50 is the number of cows. And then at most 260, so 3x plus 50 is less than or equal to 260. If you solve that, you get x is less than or equal to 70. So that's less than or equal to 70. And that's less than or equal to 190. Okay? In Mrs. Saylor's bank, there are twice as many nickels as quarters. So this gets into doing something with coins. So this is kind of interesting. If the value of the coins is at least 770, find the smallest possible number of nickels and quarters in her bank. So we have not actually explored coin problems. I love coin problems. They're really fun. So, but the thing is with coin problems, you have to think about the number and the value. Okay? So watch what I do here. Let's see. There are twice as many nickels as quarters, so we're going to start as usual. I'm going to let x equal the number of quarters, right? So then there's twice as many nickels. The number of nickels is twice as many. However, now they start talking about the value being 770. Well, these things here do not tell me anything about the value. Now, if you think about this, we need to look at what is the value of a quarter. 1 quarter has a value of 25 cents. What's the value of 2 quarters? 50 cents. What's the value of x quarters? What are their value? It's going to be 25.25x, right? So the value of x quarters is 0.25x. And the value of 2x nickels, well, you kind of have to think about the value of the nickel. It's 5 cents, right? So if I have 2x nickels, what do you think the value would be? It's going to be 0.10x. So I'm going to say 0.25x plus 0.10x equals $7.70. Now I'm going to multiply this whole thing through by 100 to get rid of all of those decimals. So I would get 25x plus 10x equals 770. Do you have to do this step? Absolutely not. I just don't like decimals. They kind of get in my way, and I make careless errors. So 35x equals 770, and x equals, oops, and I did equals here. I am so sorry, guys, about that. That should be greater than or equal to. So it's the smallest number of nickels and quarters. Wah, wah. Greater than or equal to. All right, 22. And you will occasionally do that, kind of get in the mode, and then you forget. So my answer is going to be 22 quarters and 44 nickels. I don't really have room up there, so I'm going to write it down here. Okay, Mr. Eckert's dog. This is back to the standard that we're used to. Mr. Eckert's dog is 10 years younger than 5 times Griffin's dog. You guys can do this one on your own. So why don't you go ahead, set it up, solve it, and see what you get. Come back and check. So I have x is Mr. Walls, and 5x minus 10 is Mr. Eckert's. My equation was 6x minus 10 is greater than 26, all right? And I got x is greater than 6, so this is greater than 6, and this is greater than 20 years old. All right? Now, our movie theater problem is kind of like our coin problem, I think. All right, so we look down here. At a movie theater, the cost of an adult ticket is $7, and the cost of a child's ticket is $5. So, if at one showing last week, 200 more adult tickets were sold in children's tickets. So X is the number of children's tickets. And you can stop here and try it on your own if you would like. X plus 200 is going to be the number of adult tickets. Now I need to think about the value that represented. So the value here was a child's ticket is $5, so that's 5x. An adult ticket is $7, so the value is 7 times the quantity, x plus 200, because this is the total number. All right, and we made at least $2,600 when we sold them. So I want to add those together. So I get 5x plus 7 times the quantity x plus 200 is greater than, it was at least, was it? Greater than or equal to 2,600. So you're going to simplify that, which you can do on your own, and solve it, and you get x is greater than, hope you pause here, or less, greater than or equal to 200. So the children's tickets were greater than, oh, let's put a little red in here, greater than or equal to 200, and the adult tickets were greater than or equal to 400. Good? Hopefully this went well for you. We have some practice with this tomorrow, and I gave you some problems you could practice on tonight, and then we're going to review for your test. So have a great night, and see what you can do with those other problems.